Hello, guys, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Coco and the Sun podcast. I am your host, Malika Critchlow. Very, very happy to be here today as I have relieved myself of having to read that Magdalene book. So I said I was going to try to do it every Wednesday or every day that I have the weekday off from work. Some days it's going to vary because I think each month we have a different day off. So for June, for May, it's Wednesday. I think when we get to June, it switches to Fridays. But whatever day I have off in the week, I'm going to try to do a podcast. That way I don't feel overwhelmed and can actually work on doing something I love to do, which is that podcast. Anyway, so today, still, I don't have a book to read, so I guess that's not the direction the podcast is going in right now. But I just wanted to talk about things I am becoming more aware of over the last week, or lessons or things I'm learning. It's pretty open. So yeah, that's really what I'm going to talk about today. So it shouldn't be too long. Um, so I think the first thing that is becoming, I think, more clear to me is what brings me more joy career-wise. Um, I think that they've shown me sort of an archetype or a human that has the career path that I would enjoy. And it's somebody that I never even considered, which is like really funny. But I'm still discovering it, so I'm not 100%. Can't go into depth with it yet because it's still revealing itself in a way. I'm kind of want to see how my life unfolds to see if I do have the correct um understanding of what's being shown or it's coming up in my daily life. But if it is, it's so cool and I really, really love it. And it'll be like so perfect for the type of person I am and things I enjoy. Um, so I just want to know if you guys are getting more clarity that way. Because I am not like I like astrology, but I don't know much about it. So I listen to all these YouTube videos on astrology. And I think for me, they were saying there's going to be a little more clarity. So I feel like I got some clarity there, although it hasn't played out yet. So I want to know if you guys are getting more clarity as to what brings you joy professionally or what profession would be. And if they've given you an example of people that have done or gotten their joy that way, that probably you would too. So that's one thing I think is coming through. Another thing I think is coming true is this game this morning. I still don't know if I've interpreted it correctly, but basically I had a dream this morning. I think it's telling me that I'm feeding myself other people's um unhappiness or struggles or their toxicity, the things that they don't need, I'm actually feeding myself with. So, in both of my jobs as a nurse, I have to talk to people every day about their illnesses and their health conditions, and then find interventions and encourage um, healthy options for them, medically sound and trusted options, right? So I'm not able to talk to them about like spiritual things or esoteric things or, you know, energy and how energetics I think work, stuff like that. I have to, because my calls are recorded, my communications are expected to be of a certain standard that the company wants the communication to be. So, like you guys know, I've said like I don't particularly feel fulfilled in these positions, but I think that if I were to work, that this would be okay. I can tolerate it until something better comes along. And, but it doesn't, I don't wake up in the morning excited to go to work. I have been able to manage it in a way where I'm not anxious or as anxious as I would have been a few years ago. I'm learning how to like breathe and take my time. But also, like the past few days, I have found that there's been more uncomfortableness or issues with expectations and more of a corporate monitoring of how duties are performed, which makes me feel more confined and conformed, less, I feel like I have less autonomy, which isn't really great for how I enjoy life. So when these things came up, I have this thought that when things get um not enjoyable or it feels like unbearable, that happens before you get, what will bring you more joy. So like if I'm having a conversation with someone about a dream that I have for myself, like a goal, like I want to do this, I want to go to this place, and they say to me, you'll never get there. Like, how are you going to do that? Like, you don't have the money, you don't have it could be like a house that I want or a car, anything, right? And I'm telling someone says like, that can never happen. Whenever someone tells me something like that, then I know that it's going to happen. I don't know. It's like an opposite effect, like a paradox. I don't know how to explain it. So they think that they're doing me, I don't even think they think that they're doing me a bad thing. But whereas most people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. I'm never going to have this. I actually like, oh, it's going to come. That's been like that since I discovered that in my 30s. It wasn't always like that, but I noticed that would happen. So like when things get bad in a certain situation, to me, it's always right before something better is coming, right? So say for instance, you're budgeting your money, you finally like feel like all your bills are managed or whatever, and then something big comes that you have to pay, and you're like, oh my God, like, what is this? Then I know, okay, yeah, something better is coming where I'll be able to not have this issue again. That's just how. So at first, though, sometimes I'm thrown off by it, and I'm like, "Ugh, this is like the worst time this could happen. I don't want this to happen now." And then what happens is sometime throughout the day, I figure out or I realize, oh, this is always like the stuff that comes up right before what I want comes, so that I don't look at all these things as a permanent situation. I look at this as, oh, this is flushing out. This is the last part of this experience that's flushing out, and I don't need to stress about it or get worked up about it. It'll work out in its own way. All I have to do is just know that something better is coming. And then usually like within a few days or so, something else will come in that's a lot better for me. Hold on. As usual, my nose. Every time. Every time I do the podcast, this happens. My nose just says hello. Anyway, so like that's been happening with the jobs. Like I've noticed that there's a lot more micromanaging that's going on, which irritates me, as I mentioned before. And I think I mentioned it last week, but I got a little bit more this week. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to probably be in a position where I'm micromanaged again. This is probably the last time I will be in a situation like this. And it's just clearing. This doesn't mean this will be forever. This actually means this is the end of this. So I was able to stay peaceful and like be like, oh, I'm kind of happy this is happening because it means it's coming to an end, you know? It's kind of weird, but essentially that's what I think I discovered that in a more expanded way. I've always seen it in my life, like when people tell me I can't have things that I want, or um, you know, with my financial situation and bills and then it leveling up after something like that. I've never like paid attention to it in the workplace. And I think I was talking about cycles last week and why I keep having this cycle of I have like a good manager for a bit and then that manager will leave the job or whatever, and then the next manager will be not as good. And I would usually like leave because I respect the job and what they want in, to fulfill what their needs are. And if it doesn't match with what I want for my life, then essentially I just find something else. But then I would move and then kind of the same thing will happen. So now I was like, well, like, what is I was trying to figure out what it was trying to teach me. Like, was I supposed to stay and have it, um, learn whatever lesson I'm supposed to learn there? So I think that's what it was. So I'm learning to with the micromanaging to express myself more clearly, but not in an aggressive or disrespectful way, but in a way to find solutions. Expressing like how I think and why I did things a certain way, and then the manager understanding that it's a different way that she thought it was, and then having a discussion on what they would like to be done and why. There's more like, um, so more discussion on why things are structured in the way that they want it structured. I still do not enjoy it, but I feel less upset by it, or I don't want to say less irritated because I still don't like it, but I don't feel like I'm being singled out then. I don't feel like um it's just me. I feel like this is just what this company wants corporate wise. And as this doesn't align with me, but if I can find peace here, then this doesn't last very long for me. Then it progresses to something else for me because I'm not being overwhelmed or lost in the actual moments of it. I'm seeing it from a higher view of this happens right before something else happens that's better for you. If you can find your peace here. I used to want to find my joy there. I'm not sure I can find my joy. I think I can hold my peace. I can find my peace, not be so unraveled. I can be, yes, less irritated and still acknowledge that this is not what brings me joy or purpose or fulfillment or excitement in the morning. So both. And then my communication skills are being refined. So I've always been, no, I'm not always been. I used to be quiet, then I was super vocal. Sometimes I never thought my speaking up was disrespectful, but it probably could have been more diplomatic and more solution finding instead of um, complaining or just saying what's wrong with it. So I think what's happening now is I am expressing what I want to say, again, not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that wants to find a solution that makes both parties happy, or at least be able to coexist peacefully without there being any ill feelings towards each other, I think. Anyway, So that's what's happening with that. I have noticed that when things get not so nice and really uncomfortable, it really means something new is coming in. But of course, you have to deal with the uncomfortableness before that comes in. And so, how you deal with that by, and find your peace there contributes to what comes in or when it comes in, I think. So that's what I think I'm learning this week. I keep saying I think because I'm still in the middle of stuff. And I have seen that pattern in other aspects of my life, but not in this aspect. So I am hypothesizing it's the same thing in a different form. So only time will tell. Um, yeah, but going back to it, yeah, so the dream was kind of telling me that right now my career really is taking on things that people are getting rid of. I am discussing these things with them and um consuming it because it's what I do all day. I talk to patients and members that about their health conditions. And a lot of that has to do with people just don't speak about like their medical conditions, right? They'll talk about what else is unhappy, if they have to take care of a parent, if there's an issue with a child, somebody's in the hospital, the grandchildren, the children, and stuff like that. I knew I didn't love the job, but I didn't think of it um, as consuming waste, people's energetic unhappiness, stresses, things that they're worried about. I've always felt like I could talk with them and um, brighten their day a little bit. Usually is, I would say 95 of my people that I speak to have, I feel like a good conversation with them. There's about 5% or less um, that nothing you say is going to be taken uh, in a good way. But a lot of them I can talk to and we can feel a little better by the end of the conversation. So I thought maybe that I was given these jobs because although I don't enjoy it, maybe I have something to share with others that could help. So when I got the dream, basically, um, I'm still again not completely sure I understood what the dream said. But it does seem to be saying that I'm consuming um not so good things for me. Now that's a confirmation that this is not something that's good for me, in my well-being. So I'm happy for that confirmation in a way, because although I know like in my human form I didn't enjoy this, I could tolerate it and it didn't it didn't contribute to me feeling absolutely, you know, devastated. I mean, I'm working from home and it's conversations, and most of the people are nice that I speak to. It's nice to know that my divine team or my angel team are letting me know that this isn't a good job for me because I was like, well, they must want me here. The jobs came to me, right? So I didn't want them actually. I was like, you guys can send me something better, but I guess I'll take this because it came because you guys brought it to me. So it must have something that I'm not seeing. So now this confirmation with the dream, I think that it's saying, it tells me, okay, that they also see that this isn't the best situation for me, that it's not something I should be consuming. So it feels better, that acknowledgement or confirmation, if I have interpreted properly, which means that something better is coming, and this isn't my purpose in life because it's not fun for me. I was like, can my purpose in life not be fun for me too? Like, everybody I see that enjoying their purpose, they are having fun doing what they're doing, and I'm not having fun with this. Um, so I had acknowledged that I was not enjoying it, but that I can find peace there. Now there's confirmation that this is not something I should be consuming. So I'm interested to see, well, where does that lead and when does it change to something I should be consuming, something that's soul nourishing. I have been asking for experiences and a life that is nourishing for my soul in a good way. Because I used to say nourishing for my soul, but then I was like, can stuff that nourish you not be good for you? I wasn't sure. I did Google it and it says like, yeah, like nourishing food. If you like eat too many fruits, it wouldn't be good for you, right? If you eat too much of something that's nourishing, it could not be good for you. So I said, okay, let me specify. I wanted experiences that were nourishing for my soul in a good way. So I guess they're showing me what's not nourishing for my soul. And I hope that they show me what is. And I hope that confirmation comes in the form of the the profession I think they're showing me that will bring me joy. I would need opportunities to open up in that way too. But anyway, so that's um what I've been learning this week. Learning to find peace in places that usually would disturb my peace. I am learning that when things are uncomfortable, it usually occurs before what I want to come in comes in, and I'm learning it in a new way, I think. So finding peace in the uncomfortableness, but accepting that it is uncomfortable and not something you enjoy. Um, what else did I talk about? I forgot. I don't remember. Hmm. Okay. I'm also taking, I don't know if you guys have tried the Harvard courses, but there's like free Harvard online courses. So I signed up for one. So I'm taking one. I think it's one with divination. I'm trying to find, one second, if I could find the name of the course that I'm taking. But Harvard has a bunch of courses online that are free. If you want a certificate for it, I do think you have to pay like $69 or $99. But if you don't really care for the certificate or the testing of it, it's it's free. So I do think that like if you pass like three of the classes, I've read on threads, um, from somebody. If you take three of the classes and get the certificates for it, you can get um or apply for enrollment in their programs, not just the course. So I am curious to see how that works out. Hmm. But right now, this is the only course I'm interested in. So this is the course I'm taking. It's called Predictions X Omens, Oracles, and Prophecies. Omens, Oracles, and Prophecies. That's the course I'm taking. And then after that, I think I want to try one that says it's a Buddha course. I don't remember what the name is, but it's like a Buddha historian course that's also free. So that's another thing I'm doing. Um, the Harvard course. And then what else? What did we talk about so far? When things look Not so pretty. The good things are coming when it's uncomfortable. It's right before the good thing comes through. That's when it tests your faith the most. If you know the good things coming, finding peace in the uncomfortableness is refining something. You're learning a skill that you will need later on. Um yeah, also learn not to think the worst of people or think everybody's like trying to just irritate you. Like really they're just functioning from their perspective of what's expected of them and trying to meet their goals too. I mean, some people are mean, but I don't think that's what's going on here. So I'm able to pull back a little bit when I start to feel like that, and when I start to feel that rushing, anxious, like, why is this happening? Why is this happening thing? I'm learning to step back from it and slow down and just breathe through it and allow myself to think clearly and not like in an overwhelmed way and express myself that way too. Um, okay. So yeah, so that's what the Harvard course, things are uncomfortable. It's right before something good probably is coming for you. This is probably just flushing out the last of that experience. Finding peace there, it's teaching you lessons and refining your some aspect of your skills. Um, and then kind of knowing or being shown more clearly what brings you more joy. For me, it's like career-wise, what I would enjoy more. Career-wise, filled with purpose and creativity and connection. So, um, that's what's been going on this week. I'm trying to see in my notes if I have any other notes. Talked on soul nourishment, and it's a soul nourishment of good things. But soul nourishment is so weird that particularly came in soul nourishment. And then I was like, soul nourishment of good things, like good nourishment for the soul, specifying. Oh, I know everybody has had this before, but I'm now getting this. I know other people have gotten this before, but that life is like an algorithm. So you really do need to focus on what you enjoy, what you like, what you love, what brings you happiness to see more of it. So, just got that the other day. I know I've heard people say it, but I just got it fully in a way that I understood. So silly. I have no idea why the understandings come when they come. So I know I understand it and I understood it on a intelligent level, right? I know what it means to focus on what you want, to bring what you want and to focus on what feels good. I mean, Esther Hicks has been saying that forever. Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, right? But like I finally got it this week. It was just so weird. It came like in a specific understanding for me. I remember like when I used to be on TikTok, I couldn't put TikTok down. Like I no longer on TikTok, but I'm just saying like I couldn't like it would just be the next video that I'm really interested in. The next video I couldn't put it down. Like every video was better than the next. What intrigued me or piqued my curiosity. And I just got it today. I haven't been TikTok about it just today. It was like life is like the TikTok algorithm. Like if I focus on things that I enjoy in that way, um, it brings more of that to me into my experience. So I'm gonna try to really do that, but not in a way that's like to receive an outcome, but in a way that's enjoyable. So like looking at things that bring me more joy or doing things that bring me more joy to bring me more joy, but because it brings me joy and not because I'm trying to get an outcome. Oh yes, the outcome could be joy. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Because I don't like to do work, apparently. Things that are not enjoyable and seem to be work to get an outcome, I don't enjoy it. But things that are joy that bring an outcome, oh my God, I'm there for it. So I'm curious to see how this works too. Although I know that I've heard people say it all the time before, I've never actually put it into action. So I'm going to try that too. So that's where I am with that. More clarity on what brings me joy career-wise. That includes um my creativity and I think my confidence with this creativity that I have that I think will provide for me. And then, being shown a person that lived their life in that way and how they had joy in their life in that way, right? So that was the first thing I talked about. Talked about being uncomfortable, being the sign that something better is coming, and finding peace in that uncomfortableness is helping you refine skills, um, and making you stronger to more uncomfortableness, I guess. So to make it's making you find peace in things that would annoy you prior and don't annoy you anymore, or don't make you feel like it's never going to happen, or get anxious about you don't anymore because you find peace that you know that this isn't going to last and that what you want is coming. Um, so that was the second thing. And then like the soul nourishment of good things and experiences that do that. And then life is like literally an algorithm, and I need to do things that bring me joy and consume things that bring me joy in order to bring me more joy. So I've had a dream like that too, like last year. So, but like, I don't know, this understanding seems different. And I feel like I really understand it now and hope to put it into action. And then also, I had shared one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that the dream today, this morning, was letting me know there's confirmation in what I'm doing now professionally, although it's tolerable. I'm feeding myself things that are not healthy for me. It's other things other people are trying to get rid of, I am consuming. So it's a confirmation that I'm grateful for because I don't enjoy it. I can tolerate it and I can be peaceful there, but I don't get excited about it. I'm not super excited to go to work or happy. Um, talking to these, talking about these things. And I do feel confined and conformed in the way the communication has to occur and what I am allowed to communicate. So I'm glad to get that confirmation from my divine team. So I'm hoping now that it would show me what does nourish me in a good way. Nourishment, it's all like connected. Um, Also super connected too because remember last week I was talking about I don't think what comes into my physical existence, the life that I want, until my root, sacral, and confidence chakra is aligned in a way that's loving. And I knew that what was being worked on was um the confidence aspect of that alignment. And so now I have a little more clarity on what it is, and I feel a lot more confident about it because of the example of the person that they have been showing me for a month or two that I didn't recognize. That's why I was being shown these movies or these books or this life story. It's now like the clarity is now coming in with the alignment. But everything in its own time, and the only time that's best is the time that I'm ready to receive it. So it's funny. Anyway, I'm really curious to see how all this plays out. because again, these are all hypotheses that I have that I think I'm being shown, but it hasn't played out yet in my experience, in my physical experience. So I'm curious to see if and how it plays out in my physical experience so that I can give a more definite, um, or yeah, a more definite feedback on how that works and how it worked for me and how it came into my experience for me. So, but I do feel like it's more possible now because of the example that I understood they were trying to show me. It feels very doable or very possible. So that's really helping with my confidence, you know? And then when things aren't going my way, that's also helping me know that it is going to go my way. So that's helping too. So let's see. What are you guys dealing with? Are you guys having your own epiphanies? What are you learning in your own life in the most simplest of ways that you didn't expect? Things that they've been showing you for like months or years, and you're just now understanding why and how that connects to your experience in real time. It's also fun, I think, once you start to connect the dots. And also the dots that are not connected yet, the excitement or the expectation or looking forward to when they do connect and how it does connect. So anyway, that's where I am. So I am reading books though on my Audible, but it's not esoteric books. I'm reading these books by the number one lady detective show on HBO with Jill Scott as the lead actress. I really love that show. So then I was like, oh, it's a book. So I got the whole series on Amazon, but like a used series, like the used books. I didn't get the brand new books. I'm trying not to overconsume and to be more conscious of how I consume. I'm not always successful, but so yeah, and they seem to be in really good condition. So I'm checking all those books. I have the books in the library, but I'm listening to it on Audible because sometimes my glasses and reading get a headache and stuff like that. But I love listening to it because they talk in the Botswanian accent. Is that how you say people from Botswana? Are they Botswanian? But it's really beautifully written. Um, with such um fun and thought-provoking thoughts about Africa and how Africans view others, and the mannerisms and how they communicate with each other. It's also beautiful, everything about the book. It's written by, what is his name? Alexander McCall Smith. I think he used to live in Africa. He lives in Scotland now. But the book is so beautifully written and not um hard to read. I love things that have depth, but they're put in a simple way. I think that's a gift. I think that's a gift to say things simply, but that have much meaning and much depth and much insight. And I think that he writes like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying listening to the book. It's really cool. Anyways, so that's it for today. I will talk with you guys again. Is it next week? Next week, I think I might have Fridays off. So, um, it may not be Wednesday, maybe Friday instead that the podcast is. Let me check the date. Second, guys. Ooh. Yeah, I believe it'll be 6th. The 6th. So, June 6th. So that would be the next podcast, I believe, and we'll catch up then. But if you guys have any thoughts or feedback or learning new things that you can share with us to make it even more interesting and exciting in this experience, please just share it with us. And even if you have a different insight from me and I can learn from it, I want to hear about it. I want to learn too. Maybe I'm mixing up the messages. Or maybe my message isn't for everybody because everybody's at different perspectives. I think we all have different perspectives, so we can all learn from each other and not have to go through all the perspectives. Or do we have to go through all their perspectives? I don't know. What do you think? Anyways, have a great week and weekend. We will chat again next week. Take time with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Follow your joys if you can. Be love to yourself. This is how you are. Love to others. And what I'm wishing for myself, I wish for you too, but only if you want it for yourself, which is to have more clarity into what brings me joy. So I live a more fulfilled, purposeful, joy-filled, love-filled life and experience of things that are of good nourishment for my soul and my existence and my being. So I'd like more confirmation in what I think is supposed to be my career for now. I'd love more confirmation on that and more confirmation on what actually is good for nourishing my soul, career-wise and otherwise. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to find out. More confirmation in what I think I'm being shown is correct. And then for those experiences and opportunities to show up in my physical experience. Those things of good nourishment, to be exact. Anyways, guys, have a really good day, a really good week, and I can't wait to talk to you all again next week. Bye for now.